Hello? Can you hear me now? Is that better? Is that any better? Better? Good. Good. Thank God for that. God, it's a pain in the ass, this bloody camera. It's got can't talk. An inbuilt microphone. And it plays up for some reason. Not quite sure why. It's a pain in the ass. Maybe I should get a new one. How are we all doing then? I'm just glad to be sitting down with a drink in my hand and chilling. After another longish and trying week of work. Hop, dog, jumping frog, Albuquerque. Great tune, that. The album's good as well. Any news? Any gossip? Anything going on? Anything to tell? It's better. Camera works fine. It's just a frigging microphone. Pain in the ass. Pain in the ass. Oh. Oh. It's good to sit down. Oh. Strongbow zest cider. Oh. Straight from the bottle. Oh, very nice. I was thinking about getting a beer, but I thought, no, I'll go for a cider for a change. It's very quiet. Very quiet. yeah, get in. Straight in there. I haven't got any vinyl actually. Well, I've got a few actually. I haven't picked anything up this week though. So what's been happening then? Very, very quiet. Very quiet today. Very quiet in the chat. I fall asleep here actually. Try not to do that. Boo. You're right, Ian. All right, good. Put the link out there for you. Whoever wants to jump on, keep me company. Leave me hanging here on my own. Just that catch. There it is. You're right, Ian.
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Good.
Not very warm, is it?
No, it's not.
Fleece on.
Hello. Weird weather, isn't it? Like 1 minute it's raining, then it's sunny, then it's raining.
Yeah, we didn't get out for a walk till 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we didn't go out for 2 days.
Really?
It has been really bad here.
Been quite windy, isn't it?
Yeah, and our guttering has come away from the...
Oh, God.
So we phoned it in, but you know how these people take to... You tell them that it could collapse and...
Take a while to get back to you, doesn't it?
Monday, if I haven't done anything, I'll go, wait. I think me and my neighbour think there's moss growing in the guttering as well.
Right.
You see, like the. But apparently, it hasn't been emptied for years. So.
All right. You can get people around to clear all that out, can't you?
Yeah, but considering it's a housing association, you thought they'd do it themselves.
They're useless, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're useless.
Yeah, apart from that, tickety boo.
You had a few problems this week, internet and computer wise.
Oh, yeah, my blinking. The program that I use to do all my editing in, right?
Yeah.
I was working on one of the videos, putting in, my pictures and that, and it crashed. And the only thing you can do when that happens, close everything down and start again. So I started it again, all lit up, hit that thing, and I got this error code, and then it told me that when a program starts up, the startup program was corrupted, and the only way I could sort it out was to uninstall it, reinstall it, and start from scratch. The trouble with that is because when you get the program, there's updates, and then you have to add a load of transitions in that that are not there that I use all the while. So it took ages. It took 2 hours to get it all back up running. I was not in a good mood.
No, of course not. At least thing you want to be doing, isn't it? When you just want to get your.
I did make use of the time though. I did a lot of work on the Battle Royale 2 stuff.
Yeah.
Gathered all the covers and put them in their little boxes, and so I did something while that was whirling away. But
these are the covers to the singles, right?
Yeah, all the singles. Yeah, all 32 of them.
Yeah.
And I put together a playlist in my Spotify of all the songs as well. So I'm going to drop the link in so people can actually go and listen to the whole singles if they want to.
Good idea, actually. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm going to make some little shorts as well, some groovy shorts to put on the thing. So
there's a lot you could have done with that competition, like what Rob said about you could have done a 60s, a 70s, and 80s. There's all sorts of things you could have done, really.
I've got enough thing for competitions for the next 2 or 3 years, to be quite honest.
2 or 3 decades, I'll probably say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're reigning champion, so
yeah, I know.
You've got a lot on your shoulders, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, well, I'll do my best. It's not really in your hands, is it? It's down to everybody else.
The masses out there.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, the group's all done now, so
it's a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun. Bit of fun for the winter months, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was only teasing you yesterday about the whole Beatles thing. I was only, but it could be done though with the Beatles or any sort of big band like that. You could do it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Queen.
Yeah. That's right. Rolling Stones or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been quiet all blooming afternoon.
That's a bit of a yelpy kind of bark, wasn't it? It was like, wait, I want you.
Yeah. What? Yeah, that's the demanding bark, that is. I'm not paying attention. No. Are we all still okay for tomorrow at 10 p.m? Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get your link?
Through WhatsApp?
Yeah, that's
yeah, I have, yeah. Yes.
Cool.
Let me just double check actually. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, I actually remember to put the link in Richard's email.
Right.
I've got this habit of sending him an email without the link.
Do we Are we going to compare notes before we do the video?
Well, Richard and I never do on ours, so
Right, because we could be reading out the same ones, couldn't we?
yeah, that sometimes happens.
Right. Okay. We'll just go with it then.
Yeah, go with it. That's what Richard and I do. We just go with it. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, no note comparing. No, we don't do note comparing.
No, I just wondered if you did that, then you sort of like cross out the ones we've matched or whatever, you know.
No, I don't know how many bubbling unders I've got. I can't remember. I think I've only got 3. One of them you're going to love. It's a bit self-indulging.
Right.
Yeah, you'll find out tomorrow.
Well, anything goes, isn't it? It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? You know?
Yeah. Good evening, Ramon. Hope you're well. Thank you for coming up last night.
I picked a few like ones that made number 2, which like really should have made number 1. And I think the rest of them are just kind of like, I feel this should have been number 1, although it wasn't like
going into
big hit
necessarily tomorrow. Yeah, I've got a couple of number 2s as well. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed putting that list together.
I reckon we're going to pick probably at least 3 songs we're going to be matching between us.
Yeah. Yeah. I think mine's going to be the more surprising one because of what I normally listen.
Yeah, I think so, Richard. I think me and you are going to have a few the same.
Yeah, I'm going to be the weirdo tomorrow.
You're gonna be the oddball one that comes out with all this other stuff which shouldn't have made number 1, but you think should have made number 1.
Yeah. Oh no, there are actually some that are good 90s tunes that I did like, so that's for tomorrow. But you guys won't see it till Sunday.
No, it's got to be edited and polished up, hasn't it?
Yeah, and all the little album covers put on. And
yeah. Pipped, isn't it?
Yeah. I didn't pick that one, Rob.
No, I didn't pick that one. Good track though. Good track.
I think that's one of them tracks. Probably don't know who it's by, but I know the tune.
New Radicals.
Yeah.
Get what you give.
One of mine reached number 41. I think I've got one that didn't even get the tune.
That should be good then. Yeah. It doesn't matter, does it, whether it was in the top 40 or not? You know, if you feel it should have been number 1, then that's it.
Well, that's what the task was. What songs do you think should have been at the number 1s in the 90s? Certainly better than what the British paying public thought.
You can look at certain groups and bands and think, like, well, you bypass the ones which made number 1, of course, but there's other songs which you think, well, that's even better than the one that made number 1. You know, that really should have been their best one.
Yeah, I find that with any band though. You know,
of course,
their best. You know, some of the best selling singles of bands outdo some of the real naff. I mean, a classic example is Status Quo's Margarita Time.
Yeah,
top 3. And songs like Mystery Song just, you know, didn't. I think that one was number 12.
I love Space when they were out and about in the 90s. I bought both their albums, Spiders and Tin Planet. Good albums. Didn't take themselves very seriously. I like that.
Yeah, there's too much. I mean, that period. I remember people with. That's when music became really serious, and they wanted a hit like next. You know, they released it on a Monday, and they wanted it to be number one by Tuesday.
And was this in the 90s?
Yeah.
What, mid-90s?
Yeah, that everyone wanted to be number one straight away. And if they didn't have a number one in their first 3 or 4 singles, they thought they were failures.
What do you think the best year of the 90s were? I would say 95. But
I think the mid-90s, that mid-90s period, because there was sort of a bit of a sort of rock, not a rock revival, but some great songs with a bit of guitar. Guitars were being finally.
I think you're right. I think it's right in the middle. It's 94, 95, and 96 is sort of the sweet spot, I think.
Yeah, I thought because someone discovered the guitar again.
Yeah.
And the synths and the drum machines were sort of that plastic sound, which had been going since the mid-80s.
Too long.
Yeah, I mean,
we kind of lost that 80s electric sound, didn't they? Like, it was just turned into something else.
Yeah, music sort of got a bit better by the mid-90s. Pop wise, before it went all mixy and all that came in. So that was that nice period, and then it just went downhill there. And I blame people like Simon Cowell and that's when the music industry, because that's when they wanted instant success, and that's when record companies wanted instant success.
That was a little bit later in the 2000s, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's when they, if you didn't get a number one album, you were dropped. Doesn't matter that the album sold a bucket load. It didn't get to number one, or it didn't. So it's something. Right, I'll just go and sort him out.
Yeah, sort the dog out.
Sort the dog out. Come here, then. I know what.
90s was a great decade, absolutely. But I think people always look back and say the 80s is the ultimate decade, although I'm not quite so sure. I can relate to the 90s a lot more than the 80s because I grew up in the 90s.
I got married in the 90s.
Did you?
1993.
Wow. Huh.
Old people don't like them.
Britpop was a great era. I think. Has there been another era like the Britpop era? I don't think there has there?
No, I don't think. I think that was the last of the.
Yeah, I think it was. We had a bit of a sort of an indie revival in the 2000s, but it didn't isn't recognised as like the Britpop era.
No, I would say, we had, we go back, we had the 60s, the Mersey beat and all that. Then the 70s, you got your glam rock, your punk rock, and then you got the new wave of British heavy metal, Britpop, disco, new wave, and I think you're right. Britpop would be probably that last
of the great eras.
Yeah.
I've got the ultimate Britpop song in my list, and I think we could all agree. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I think you all agree what it is.
I've got two. Yes.
Oh, Rob got married in 93.
Yeah. I was, 27?
Some 2000s indie is brilliant, especially Hardfire. I agree, Rob. Some of that 2000 stuff I absolutely love even today, I'll say the music that indie period of the 2000s was probably better than some of the 90s, apart from, of course, Oasis, and, the exception of one or two, others. But yeah, I really loved 2000s. Up to about 2007, I think it started to sort of go.
You see, that period from what, the late 90s, that's when Muse.
He knows. Rob knows.
Yeah, that's when Muse started. What, late 90s, didn't they? And they were huge.
Muse, you say?
They sort of gave rock a bit of a twist.
They did. They kind of had that like Radiohead sound and kind of their own. And it just, I like the first two albums. Their Origin of Symmetry album, I think, is great. I think that was late 90s.
Yeah, then I don't like them now. I think what they've done, I think they've forgotten their fans that made them famous and made them big. The people like me and you, even an older generation thought that the early Muse was cracking.
Yeah, it was.
Showbiz and Origins of Symmetry are brilliant. I mean, an Absolution is great as well. And then it started going downhill from there. I think the last album I brought by Muse was The Resistance.
Yeah, I have Resistance.
Yeah. And then the next one, I listened to it and I thought, oh.
Yeah. I don't think I have that one after.
No. The Second Law.
No, I ain't got that one, I think.
Oh. I mean, it's got that awful song they had on for the Olympics, Survival. Oh, that is just...
Yeah. I can remember going in HMV when I was in college and buying 3 brand new Muse albums. I've never done that with any other artists. Like, I mean, this is like, CDs would cost something like 12 quid back then. So it's a lot of money for 3, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember I'll tell you why I got Showbiz, because I saw them on, they were on telly. I think they were on either George Holland or one of them sort of programs.
Yeah, Rob, if you like, yeah, of course. More than welcome.
And they played Muscle Museum, and I thought, this is incredible. It was, it was a breath of fresh air. So I went and brought the CD, and then when they brought out the second album, and you put it on, and you got that bit at the beginning of New Born with the piano, and then that riff. Wow!
Yeah, I know, it's great,
and the production on it was fantastic.
It was. My brother kept borrowing that off me all the time. He keeps stealing it from my bedroom and playing it. He just loved it.
I'd say them first 3 albums are the most played.
Yeah.
Of the collection. I managed to pick up a few of their EPs as well.
That first album, it's one of them albums you get something new every time you listen to it. There's so much going on.
Yeah, there's a song that, and then when they brought out that live Hullabaloo, I've got the DVD to that. It is absolutely brilliant, that gig.
Yeah, that was one of the 3 I brought, I think.
Yeah, Hullabaloo's.
Hullabaloo. Yeah.
And them songs on there, the studio stuff. There's some incredible stuff on there, and that album always gets.
That's a double album, isn't it? On CD.
Yeah, it gets poo-poo them early songs.
Yeah.
Were you a bit of a Muse fan, Rob? Days?
Not at the time. I don't mind their early albums. I quite like that. Was it called Drones? I quite like that one. That's about the third or fourth album, isn't it?
Third, about so it's quite late, but yeah, it has. They went back to their sort of roots on that one, and then they went.
Yeah, I'll find them.
The CDs are not that expensive, so I think I kind of, you know, bought a few of the CDs cheap and quite enjoyed them. I know you like them, don't you? The early stuff.
I like, as I just said to Simon, I think the last one I bought was the Resistance, and then the second one, it was too techno, and they just went downhill. And their last album was just awful.
Yeah. Have you seen them live? Have you seen them live?
I never saw them live. No.
I know people compared them a bit to Queen, didn't they?
Yeah. See that's cracking album.
That's the debut. That's by far the best album, I think.
Is that the debut? That?
Yeah, it's got Cave's brilliant on that.
That orange one is that the second?
Orange is second one, yeah. Orange is a Symmetry, I think.
Yeah, Orange is that's the second one.
Yeah,
that's got a great cover of Feeling Good on it. Absolutely amazing.
Plug-in Baby is a great track.
Yeah. I mean the falsetto one. Micro cuts. You
don't get anyone in the VC showing Muse vinyl, do you?
No,
I don't think it was released on vinyl. I'm not sure.
No, I've never seen any of them albums on vinyl, but
yeah, I think you can get them. You can get drones. Like I've seen it for like 30 quid. I don't know whether I've seen their early ones though.
No, I mean, if they ever, I mean, that's a record day thing for them, isn't it, really, to release them first two albums on its vinyl?
50p.
Yeah, that's the sort of price I pay for Muse records. Yeah.
And that's the last one I have.
Yeah, I've got those, I think.
I like Uprising. I think that's a real catchy.
Yeah.
That's all I've got of Muse. I ain't got any others.
Well, that's all you really need, really.
Yeah. I will buy the others if I do come across them. Just the completionist in me.
So are you doing a video tomorrow? You 90 singles that should have been number one.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna record it tomorrow, but it won't be out on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. So you can only name, like, if you've got an Oasis one there, Simon. Then I wonder.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder which one you have.
It's mine that I think it's going to be the
Live Forever, surely. I'm doing Simon's 10 here now. I'll be able to pick them all, I think, probably. Yeah.
What you need to do is write them down, put them in an envelope.
About Angels by Robbie Williams. That never got to number one, did it?
No.
And that's you. That must be one of the biggest selling 90s singles, mustn't it, really?
Yeah, I think
that's anyone to name a 90s single, that'd be one that people talk about.
Angels, yeah, it was a big hit.
Well, it was up for a couple of years. It was everywhere, weren't it, that song?
That All Saints one as well. Never Ever. That was a huge hit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was number one.
No, that was the number one, though, that, weren't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's being released, isn't it? Have you seen that list of albums for National Album Day? Have you seen that list?
No, I haven't. No. Was that on there, was it?
That's on there. That
right.
the All Saints debuts on there.
I quite like them, actually. I quite like All Saints.
I played that album a lot. My ex-wife, Ian, when did you get married? What date? Might have been the
27th of March.
Ooh. I got married on the 16th of October. Yeah.
You'll find out.
Whatever, yeah, that was a non-album track, weren't it? By Oasis?
It was, yeah. Why was that? Why did that happen?
Why what?
Why wasn't that put on an album?
Well, you could say the same about the Master Plan. I know it's on.
That was a type B, though, wasn't it? On one of the singles, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, but that could have easily been a single, couldn't it? That the Master Plan.
Well, a lot of their side.
I know. It's crazy, wasn't it?
That's quality, weren't they? Their songs.
I know.
And their album covers as well had such quality about it.
It's like Acquiesce, isn't it? How was that
Yeah.
not? That could have been a single, couldn't it?
Yeah, that could have been a hit. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, there's all. I mean, if you get through history of albums, that tracks that they put on a B-side, and you know, why wasn't that put on the album?
Yeah, you're thinking of Brown Girl in the Ring by Boney M, aren't you?
Oh yeah, good.
No,
I was actually thinking of Iron Maiden on their Number of the Beast album. There was an awful song on there called Gangland, and it's absolutely rubbish. And the song they put on the B-side, I think, of one of the singles was Total Eclipse. And they played it, was it twice, or something like that? And they played it at the gigs, and it was more popular than Gangland's. Why that was never put on the album?
There's been a few singles, haven't there, that were the B-side originally, and then they ended up sort of being the A-side.
Yeah, like Maggie May.
Pardon?
Maggie May by Rod Stewart was a B-side.
Yeah, that's one. Reasons to Believe, weren't it?
Yeah, I've got the version I've got. Actually, Maggie May is the B-side, so I've got the version that Maggie May is the B-side.
Yeah, I think. Can you think of any more? I know that there was Boney M, wasn't there? And where's Richard? He'd know a couple of them, wouldn't he? I'm pretty sure.
He's in the chat.
Yeah, come on, Richard, get up here. You fully useless information.
I'll tell you what,
when
I do some of these top 10, especially the ones in the 50s, you get a song, one song gets higher in the charts than the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, when the charts were in their infancy.
Yeah, you'd get, I think there's one coming up next week where once there's two, there's 78, it's got to be 78, but for some reason, I don't know how they make it, that how do they know which one people are playing to make it go higher in the charts?
Yeah.
Or the other one is you get a song done by 3 different artists.
Was one of the Sweet's singles a B-side that an A-side turned to a B-side? Was Wigwam Bam originally a B-side? No.
They had a lot of number 2s, didn't they, the Sweet?
I know. I think they had about 5, I think.
But they were robbed, weren't they, of the number 1 spot?
I know. Was it Blockbuster was the number 1? I know that.
Yeah.
Was Hellraiser was Richard did know. Come on, Richard.
I got the book.
Richard's a walking encyclopedia of glam rock.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he knows more about it than me, and I know a bit.
This is the alternative to Richard.
Yeah. I know that Blockbuster was the number 1, but then all those. I'm trying to think. The Sweet number 2s. Wigwam Bam will be one, won't it? Fox on the Run, was that a number 2?
That was the first single I ever brought with my own money.
Fox on the Run.
Fox on the Run, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Sweet are a little bit underrated?
Yeah,
I do. Yeah.
Oh, Richard's here. Good time.
I'll tell you. Yeah, Sweet are very underrated, aren't they?
Richard, Sweet underrated, do you think?
Yes, but they're not as underrated as they used to be, because they tend to get a lot of record store day releases now, and
yeah, they do, don't they?
And by the way, applause to Rob. You're quite right. 5 number 2s. You got it straight on the button.
That's from watching your channel, that Richard. That I know that.
Wigwam Bam was not originally a B-side.
No.
The only one I can think of, although the sides weren't flipped, was Dire Straits' Walk of Life. Was the B-side to the first single from the album So Far Away. Then Money for Nothing came out. And then I can't really think of any other one. The only other one you could nearly say, but it was a double A side, was Rod Stewart's I Don't Want to Talk About It, because it was originally planned that First the Deepest was the main track.
Yeah.
But it was I Don't Want to Talk About It. It got all the airplay.
The Sweet. Coco, number 2, 1971.
Right.
Don't make name
Hellraiser, number 2, 1973.
Blockbuster, not Blockbuster, Ballroom Blitz.
Ballroom Blitz, yeah.
That should have been number 1.
December 73. Next number 2, straight after that is Teenage Rampage.
Yeah.
19th of January, 74. And we got Turn It Down, 9th of November, 74.
I didn't get number 2, I got a 41 or something.
I'm looking at the wrong thing.
I didn't even make a top 30. That was the last one written by Jim Chapman.
Who would you have?
Sorry.
Yeah, this is
Fox on the Run, sorry. Fox on the Run.
This is one for Richard and, well, it's one for me as well and Ian. So what would be your top 5 bands between 1970 and 75? You'd have T-Rex, wouldn't you, Richard? Probably.
T-Rex, Slade.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Slade, definitely Slade.
See, I'm trying not to just do glam rock here.
Queen?
Well, that's 73 to 75, but yes.
Yeah.
I'm probably Status Quo.
Yeah.
Because Status Quo had some cracking singles around 73, 74, and 75 down as well. And Caroline is one of the best singles ever.
Yeah, they'd be in the conversation, wouldn't they? What about you, Ian? Would you be similar?
Very, very similar, yeah. I mean, Quo, of course.
Yeah.
Be up there. Mud, Slade.
Mud, yeah.
Susie Quattro.
Tom Petty.
No, you can't have. She's not. She goes to the group.
It's not the Susie Quattro group.
What else would I have? Roxy Music.
Oh yeah.
Steve Harley.
No.
Steve Harley and the Cockney Rebel.
When did ELO get the
well? Bloody hell! Forgot
Sparks.
Forgot about that.
When did ELO get their act together? Do you think?
Well, ELO, their first album was in 70. I think it was actually released at the end of 71 in some territories. It was really 72. And then in 73, they had 2 albums, ELO 2 and On the Third Day.
Yeah.
74 was El Dorado, 75 was Face the Music. So they're doing quite well in America at that time. But it wasn't really until a New World
Record. I think they really hit
Living Thing, weren't it, when that came out?
Yeah. And saying that, though, Evil Woman was a top 10 hit from the Face the Music. And Showdown did relatively well, as did Mama Belle and Roll Over Beethoven. So they did have hit singles. It's just their albums didn't sell anything at all.
No.
But you find that a lot of those bands, because the Sweet, they only ever had one album that reached the top 30, one studio album, which was Sweet Family Adams. And Susie only had one album, which was their debut.
It's interesting that you didn't choose any American. Like you didn't think of the Eagles. They didn't come into the conversation.
No, but for some reason, I love the 70s, but I know I'm going to get killed for this. But the American bands of the 70s, I thought, were so far behind. I thought that glam rock and punk rock was exciting. Both genres. Okay, I was only a kid. I was a kid for both of them, really. But a really small kid for glam rock, and I loved all the pops. But whenever I think Mark Bolan, he actually, I think it was Blue Oyster Cult, he toured with in 74, and there was just a complete difference.
Yeah.
He went down really badly in America. They just thought he was crap. You know, they couldn't stand it. They were more into the sort of bell-bottom jeans and all the rest of it, you know, very, very young.
If you were to ask an American the favourite bands from that period, would they be mentioning, like, I don't know, when did Kiss come on the scene?
74, 75.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot would be Grand Funk Railroad.
Would they?
That sort of thing would be more the Americans. And the
80s were probably where they came more relevant, I would say. Might be wrong. No, American music.
But American
So
music,
are we totally banging off American music in the 70s? Is that what we're doing?
No. I mean, I like Tom Petty. I like his early stuff, but
Yeah.
there's not many.
well, the Americans had the Ramones, which I thought were fantastic.
I was going to say there is some good American music.
Blondie, of course, as well. Don't forget they're fully American. And Chrissy Hynde is American, whether you like it or not. You can call it Pretenders a British band if you want. But at the end of the day, the chief singer-songwriter is from America, so I call it American.
Won't forget about Steely Dan as well, Rachel.
Don't you dare call me Rachel. Dare you?
That's as bad as Keir Starmer.
I don't have the hair. I don't have the hair. How can you make a mistake?
Yeah, that's the Keir Starmer moment, Rob. Release the sausages.
No. You don't.
I couldn't even tell you if Steely Dan are British or American. I don't know. I don't even know.
Aren't they?
I have no idea. No idea.
Yeah.
I have one album of theirs that James sent me, and I actually got through it twice. I thought, no, I can't do it.
What album was that? Asia?
No, the Steely Dan's The Royal Scam.
Yeah.
It's a lovely cover of an album, but I just don't like the music. It just it irritates me. That's what it does. That's what they do. It's got
a bit of a jazz. There is
very jazzy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can be a little. I really like Steely Dan, but
very polished, isn't it? The sound.
It's just really good, but it's just funny now. People have, like me and Richard, we cross over on so many things, but then we veer.
Yeah, I know you do like a bit of jazz. I really can't stand it. I always say it's spelled wrong. You put an I in there instead of an A.
Yeah.
Pure wank. But excuse me.
I've got to the stage though now where I've got enough jazz. I'm just not really looking for it anymore. I've got enough of it. I'm not looking for it. Have you got much jazz, Simon? You got a bit, haven't you?
I have a bit, I got a bit of Miles Davis and others. Bitches Brew and
I like Charlie Watts' jazz stuff. I think that's pretty cool.
Because you don't really get into jazz much on your channel, do you, Ian?
Well, I've dabbled.
What have you reviewed then on the jazz?
Charlie Watts' solo albums. I did Charlie Watts' live albums that are just pure jazz the other week. And he did my favourite one is one where it's like a dedication to Charlie Parker, because you've got a guy narrating and they do some of Charlie's stuff, and that was good. I enjoyed that, but
what about?
I haven't done too much jazz.
What about doing Miles Davis's? How many albums has he done? Can you imagine having to do that? That'd be quite an undertaking, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sort of getting there with an artist that I'm doing after I finish Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
But this artist did jazz, he did poppy bits and.
No, I know who that is. Van Morrison, obviously.
Van Morrison is that's what I'm listening to now.
Do you know what? You should be doing James last. And 159 albums or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You'll get 1 million subscribers. I guarantee you, if you did a James Last video, a lot of people would watch it.
Well, in Northampton, that's what you go around charity shops. That's all you ever see. James Last albums.
Yeah.
But the thing about jazz, I got put off jazz at a really early age, because you'll probably remember this. But every time on a Saturday night, on nearly every talk show, bloody Cleo Lane was singing away with her bubba dubba dubba. I couldn't hack that at all. Yeah. And she was on every week, and that put me off completely.
Yeah.
You might get into it when you get into retirement, Richard.
Sorry?
You might get into it when you're retired.
I might. No, I doubt it, though.
Your taste might change. You never know.
I'm 58 now, and I'm still listening to the Basic Rollers and the Wombles. I don't think the taste will change.
The Wombles.
Do you think your taste is more or less? When do you think your taste stayed?
My taste was defined between the 14 and 20. that's my full taste. Between 14 and 20 has been defined. Now, other things have come in after that.
Yeah.
And a big example would be saying that the only band I really liked of the 21st century is Vampire Weekend.
Yeah.
And it's very, very difficult for a band for me to actually hold on to. Even Britpop, I did buy quite a few Britpop albums and I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
But they never actually got into that sort of bubble.
Yeah.
So a few Blur albums I think are great. Like my favorite Blur album is either Modern Life or The Great Escape. For some reason, I preferred those two to Park Life.
Yeah.
And I did love Oasis at the start, but I found with Oasis, I bought their first 4 albums and I thought that each album was much worse than the previous. So the first album is one of the best debuts ever, and I'll give them that. It is brilliant. The second album I didn't think was quite as strong, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I do like She's Electric, and I like it for that ad for Amazon training your girl learn to be an electrician, and it works really well. The third album I thought was dire, and the fourth album I played it once. And that
Yeah, you got to a
well,
Wasn't really a 4th album though, was it? It was just a sort of collection of B-sides, wasn't it?
no, I'm not counting it.
No,
I
standing on the
bought
show.
all the CD singles, so I didn't need to buy that album because most of them are on those B-sides. It was the one standing on the shoulder of giants.
It's the 5th one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Else.
That's a bit like Led Zeppelin's Coda, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think Standing on the Shoulders of Giants is an excellent album. I think it's better than the 3rd album, I reckon.
Yeah, I love it, me. But
I love it.
Yeah, but did you love it at the time, Rob?
Yeah.
I did.
I loved them all.
I think I
only
like
album-
it more now than I did then, actually.
Yeah, the only Oasis album I wasn't that keen on was like the last one. I felt it was really on its last legs.
Yeah.
But up to that, I liked all their albums.
I did love one track. I loved the first single from the Heathen Chemistry album, The Hindu Times. I thought it was a really, really good single. I thought, yeah, they're back.
Stop crying your heart out.
Oh, God, that's dreadful. That's awful.
Yeah.
That's whiny.
No, this is a great song.
3 number 1s on that album, didn't they?
Great. But,
Yeah, I believe so.
you know,
Yeah.
That's like Blur. After the Blur album, I thought they went crap as well. The one with Tender and Coffee and TV, 13, I thought it was rubbish. And then the one after that, which I can't even remember the name of.
Think Tank.
Oh, seriously bad.
No, it's really good, that.
An album cover as well.
You need to live with it. You've got to live with these albums.
I agree with you. But those years have passed.
Yeah. You've got to live with them. You know, I've been living with a few albums this week that I bought from record fairs. And when I first played them, I knew I liked the artist, but a couple of them are ones that you've been plugging over years. And I bought them, and I've been playing them at work, you know, streaming them. And at first I was like a bit iffy, but I'm enjoying them because I've heard them about 10 times each now while I've been listening.
I think most people, like the usual people who listen to music, don't give these albums enough time, do they? They want instant gratification.
He'll do one of his rankings. He'll play it once and then he'll rank it.
Yeah.
Got to play it 10 times minimum.
But now, in this day and age, you're lucky you can listen to music.
I am lucky, yeah.
In this day and age, there's too many distractions with social media and everything.
There is. There's a lot going on around us.
I bought an album at 18. I played it and played it and played it. There's bugger all else to do.
No.
That's how I know inside out.
You could develop a relationship with it almost, don't you? It becomes almost like a friend, you know?
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
It's a bit like people's video channels, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Like some of my Status Quo albums, you know, the ones in the 80s, late 80s, 90s. I'm not big fans of them at all, but I do listen to them.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Quo fan, and it's like a football team, isn't it? You don't stop supporting the team when they're having a lean period and they get relegated. If you're a proper fan, you just stick with it. And
You fellas, 10 men, 90%, 95% of the game, 10 men, 3-0.
What's he on about?
Just wait, right? Okay, let's be realistic about this. If you're down to 10 men, right?
Yeah.
And you're 1-0 up at the Etihad against probably the best team in Europe, possibly.
Yeah.
You are going to defend for your life. However, if you're Ange, the Spurs manager, and go down to 9 men, you say, it's just us, mate. It's the way we are, mate. Yeah, right, that's the way we are. You get stuffed 5-0 by a crappy Chelsea. Now, if we had went for it, we would have been beaten about 6-2. So, no, you have to be able to change and adapt to the situation. Yeah. And I think Arteta made the right decision and was so lucky on the very last kick of the game, more or less, that they scored.
Yeah,
after the extra time.
Very unlucky there. Yeah.
You were unlucky. Yeah.
There's no choice. There's no choice.
Yeah.
You were unlucky. You were the better team.
But yet again, I wish they wouldn't kick the bloody ball away. And I wish anybody else, if they were going to get sent off for it, your man should have been sent off in the first half. And
your
then
defense is so good at the moment. Your defense is immense.
Our defense is really, really good. And you always say, you always strengthen what's strong. And that's what he's done with bringing in Calafiori and Timber. Although we brought him in last year, he's only really now a new signing. And
your team's so strong, it doesn't need a lot of changes throughout the couple of seasons.
A little. The problem is we've lost Martin Odegaard, and that little bit of spark is missing. And we'll get him back.
I think he'll win the league this time.
I don't know. Well, the only it's an unfortunate thing for City, but Rodri's out for the whole season.
Yeah. I think it's Arsenal's. They're due it, aren't they? I think.
You see what? Yeah, going off the top football.
It's very quiet there. They're due.
Yeah, I tell you what, I can't get over, and I'm a big cricket fan. They're still playing international cricket in England.
I know, yeah, I know.
They are due it, Richard. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I want to win it, but you know.
But do you not see the amount? I don't know if you watch YouTube and all the sort of amateur commentators in these games.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're okay. It's the big ones like the Skies and the BBC. They're so anti-Arsenal, and I know you're saying,
God, no, I'm not in that.
They are.
No.
They are. Put it this way, Rob. The way Arsenal defended against Man City, right? If any other team had done that, they would say, "Whoa, what an immense defensive performance! Absolutely brilliant. The way they changed their game, blah blah. It shows the signs of champion." Arsenal do it. The dark arts.
No, I don't.
They've always been a dirty team, Richard.
Sorry?
They've always been a dirty team.
They have Arsenal, a dirty team. Arsenal, you could blow over with a.
He's winding you up there.
Well, maybe in the past they could be a bit dirty.
They have.
Dirtiest team was Leeds United in the 70s.
I know, they were shocking.
Yeah, they were bad.
Chelsea was dirty as well in the 70s.
Yeah. So getting back to music just for a second. So what is the fair amount of time to give an album? How many listens do you think? Do you think you should feel it the first time, stroke second time, and then if not, you're going to
play
it probably about 5 times, and if it still doesn't do anything for you?
I really do think that.
Yeah, I can. So when when I do my new album review, if it comes out on the Friday, I do the review the following Friday, and probably by the Wednesday, Thursday, I've really either got into the album, or I haven't.
Because Ian, sometimes I bet this, because we've all had it, where the first couple of listens and then something happens and it just starts building, and then I think with the Council Skies album, the Noel Gallagher, for me, after a couple of listens, I really got into that. But initially, I wasn't as keen on it.
I still don't have that yet. Still need
to get into that one. And the other one was the new David Gilmour album. When I the first couple of listens, I thought it's a little bit mediocre here, and then the more I got listening to it, and I
Yeah.
Always listening to it under the headphones at least once.
Yeah.
In a dark room. Now that sounds bizarre, but I put it on at night and I'll just listen to it and I go, yeah, because you're listening for little things. And when I listen to that, the thing that makes that is some of his daughter's backing vocals.
Right.
You know, it really left it.
Did he use Kate Bush in the early days? David Gill.
Yeah, Kate Bush was, I think, on his second album.
Yeah.
It's amazing who turns up on as backing vocals on albums.
Paul Weller's on there. I think Paul Weller plays on a Peter Gabriel album that I never realised. You know, his second.
Third.
Gabriel too. Yeah.
I never realised that.
Three. He plays on the Tears on the third album, Mel.
Right.
And so does Phil Collins.
So, Richard, I'm going to ask, so can you give me a couple of examples of albums that initially you thought were garbage and then after more plays you really got into and they're like some of your favourite albums? Right.
Well, I'll give you the classic one. My favourite album of all time. I thought was garbage at the start.
Really?
Yes, with especially that big, long, boring Sweet Thing candidate, Sweet Thing, which is my favourite track in the world. I hated that album, but I had to get it because I borrowed it from a cousin then, and I copied it. She had two boy albums, right? That I didn't have, Pin-Ups and Diamond Dogs, and I preferred the Pin-Ups and a tape, on either side. But whenever my friend's friend was going up to Belfast to buy some albums, I gave him 20 quid to see if he could get me certain David Bowie albums. He was able to get me 4.
Right.
Pin-Ups, Diamond Dogs, Man Who Sold the World, and Young Americans.
Right.
And I thought, right, Diamond Dogs, I played it regularly, but not over the top. Yeah. But I found whenever I was lying in bed, just listening, that's when it really worked. And I just really love it. That's one. I'll give you an example of one which I thought was brilliant at the start, but after about 5 plays, thought was garbage. And it's another Bowie one, Never Let Me Down.
I remember you saying
when I first heard that, I thought, this is magnificent. This is everything he's done. And after about 3 or 4 plays, it was not that great. And then after the 5th, I thought it was rubbish. It's all right. It brings back memories, put it that way. The actual Smiths album took a while, but it took a while in bits and pieces. I always loved Still, and You've Got Everything Now, and the single. And the other one, the 4th track in side 2, I Can't Give You Everything, or something like that there.
Right.
I wasn't keen on the rest, but it started to grow. And then Stuff for Little Children, I thought, oh, this is really good. Then I loved That Hand That Loves the Cradle. The only track 2 really that I wasn't that keen on, still not, are Pretty Girls, Mick Graves, and Miserable Life.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 that I'm not as keen on.
Yeah.
And then I get annoyed because whenever I hear the B-side, like Back to the Old House, I think, why the hell was that not on? Or These Things Take Time. That would have been great on that.
Yeah. I remember you saying once, I think, didn't you get a little bit fed up of The Queen Is Dead for a while?
I did. I got fed up with it after about a year or 2 of constant playing.
Just played all the time.
All the time. And I remember finally buying the CD in the 90s. I thought, well, I put the CD, I put it on, and I thought, okay, it sounds great, but I'm not in the mood for it.
No.
I haven't been. Now, I have played it recently in the past year a couple of times. It's absolutely brilliant. Oh,
I know.
It's brilliant. It's just I overplayed it. That's one that is serious. I overplayed
Rattlesnakes.
I overplayed it. Oh God, did I overplay that?
We loved that. Yeah.
I overplayed that so much. There was a huge gap for me between Rattlesnakes and Easy Pieces.
Yeah,
I'm much closer. I would actually nearly go Easy Pieces over Rattlesnakes at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you said that. Yeah. What about you, Ian? Have you got one that you initially you weren't keen on, but now it's like one of your favourite albums?
Yeah, Act On Baby, U2.
Oh, yeah, good one.
I didn't like it when it first came out. I didn't like The Fly. I thought it was rubbish.
Yeah, number one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, I put it on one day, and I thought this isn't bad. And then it was, I think that it was about 3 or 4 years ago, and all of a sudden, I kept playing it. I kept playing, and now I think it's an absolutely brilliant. Now, an album going the other way,
yeah,
is one of my Marillion albums.
Right.
This Strange Engine. When it first come out, I loved it.
Yeah.
But I worked with someone that all they used to do is put that on all the time, and I cannot abide it now. It was a gentler, more acoustic album, but
yeah,
yeah, I don't want to listen to it.
What about you, Simon? Have you got an example of that?
There's a recent one, Neon Bible, Arcade Fire. That took me a bit of time to sort of adjust.
Yeah.
It went after a few listens.
Yeah, brilliant.
I got it. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it take me a few, you know.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
But only that one at the moment I could think of. I'm sure there are others. But
I was looking, Simon. You know, we're talking about Hard-Fi.
Yeah.
So that album's 20 years old next year, so it's going to get reissued in it. That I would think.
Yeah. Good album.
They're touring, aren't they? They're touring.
Are they? I didn't know that.
They've got a new record coming out in November as well.
All right. Yeah.
Do you know anything about Hard-Fi, Richard?
Is that the album with the yellow cover?
Yeah, with the camera.
No, don't know anything about that.
Honestly, it's so brilliant, that record. It's just unbelievable. That's so iconic, that. And I was 41 when that came out.
Right.
I've been 41. But Alex would have been like 10, my son. So
there's a couple of albums of the Bare Naked Ladies which take a bit of adjusting to. But
yeah, I'm not that. I don't know much about them. I like that track Brian Wilson by him. Do you know that song?
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
That's a great track. That they're
Canadian
a bit like,
band, aren't they?
They're a bit like that reminds me of sort of like the House Martins. That song.
I like their later album after Stunt, Maroon. I think Maroon is a very good album.
Yeah, I've never really delved into them.
Yeah, I delved because someone that I got asked to rank them, and I found their first 3 albums were really good, and then they went off the boil a bit.
Right.
And their last 2 or 3 albums are very, very strong albums.
Come back a bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
You see the way you mentioned Wilson there? Who would you think, you mentioned American music earlier on, who do you think is the best American songwriter ever? If you had to put your name, a lot of people would say Brian Wilson, but I would like to know who you each would think would be the best American songwriter ever.
God.
It has to be Brian Wilson, doesn't it?
No, I would. My heart goes with Paul Simon, but my head goes with Bob Dylan.
Yeah, well,
I'm not fans of either.
For me, it's a toss-up between Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen, because there are so many similarities between their writing, their storytelling.
Yeah.
It's very close. And you listen to
it's so very Americana, though, isn't it? We can't sort of get it, you know?
What about
David Byrne?
What about Stevie Wonder?
That's a very, very, very good shout.
He's a good one. Neil Sedaka.
I actually thought about him when he initially, because I love Neil Sedaka, me. I love him.
And who he wrote for.
Well, if you even want to go further back, Buddy Holly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't say Elvis because he didn't write any songs, did he?
No. I mean, the one that gets under the radar is David Gates from Bread. He wrote some super songs.
Mm. Yeah. I like Curtis Mayfield as well. He's like one of my favourites. So you'd have to put him in the mix for me. But it's a good question. I think Bob Dylan's probably and Brian Wilson would probably top most people's polls, wouldn't they? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Bob Dylan, he can write still. Pity he can't sing it as good as he did, but he can still write a good tune.
Which female, American female, would there be then? Do you think?
Oh.
Taylor Swift.
Well, she would have to be in the mix. Honest to God, like she's been the most successful female ever. Ever.
I know. She's in
Yeah,
there.
I suppose she would be.
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's tough.
I don't know about Stevie Nicks.
You know, I'm going to get best female American songwriter ever. I put my money on Chrissie Hynde. She writes all the songs for Pretenders.
Yeah.
But then you got to think about people like Carole King.
Yeah. Joni Mitchell.
Yes. That'd be a strong
Canadian. Is she not? Is Joni Mitchell not Canadian?
She's Canadian, Joni Mitchell, isn't she? I think.
Yeah, Carole King, one of the greatest songwriters ever.
Yeah, she is.
Well,
I still go Chrissie Hynde.
Yeah, I wouldn't have Carole King. I like a cat, but that's about it, I think.
Joan Baez, she's another terrific songwriter.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny because when you ask people like about the favourite sort of songwriter, you can't help it, but you think about men.
That's it.
And you think about white men, don't you? You don't think about black artists. You don't think about women.
That's it. I know.
You know, so I do think Stevie Wonder and Curtis Mayfield
He'll be up there,
are in the mix for me.
especially Stevie Wonder.
Wonder.
I'm a big fan of Curtis though as well. So
But you know, you're talking like Marvin Gaye as well.
yeah,
Very highly respected. Not really my type of music.
no.
But I do like Stevie Wonder, and I think I made a video about it.
What about Karen Carpenter?
Yeah, who wrote their song? So
It might have been between them. I'm not sure.
Well, they were mostly cover versions, and Richard Carpenter wrote a few. So Richard Carpenter wrote "Top of the World," but most of their songs were written for them or cover versions.
I think they are underrated. They're underrated.
They're one of those groups that I don't care what you say, you can't not like them.
I know they're a bit. Well, I put them on a bit like ABBA in a way, but
I can understand that. But
yeah,
her voice is pure silk.
Yeah, I love
her. And she was a fantastic drummer.
Yes, Ian, she was a very good drummer.
Yeah,
very good drummer.
Yeah.
Did Cher write any of her music?
Pardon?
Did Cher write any of her music?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
What about Madonna?
Yeah, well, she co-wrote all of her stuff.
Yeah.
The thing about Madonna is, again, fair play there, but I can't really get past Madonna from about 1992 onwards. After I just got interested. But I really like the stuff in the 80s. I like the real slutty girl Madonna from the 80s. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With a bit of fun and a bit of punch. Then she got too erotic, and then she's just gone. Well, at the moment, I don't know what's going through her mind.
So I like the Ray of Light album.
I do as well.
I do. Yeah.
The last good album she ever made.
Well, they say that one, Confessions in the Dance Floor, is very good if you like that type of music.
Yeah, I like that, mate. I think that's a good album, that. Yeah.
You know,
Tiffany.
Believe it or not, I do like the way she sampled Gimme, Gimme, Gimme.
Yeah.
For Hung Up. I do like that. I think it's really, really well done.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton, Nora Jones.
Yeah, we've got some suggestions here coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, Dolly Parton, what about, I don't know about country artists, Johnny Cash. Did he write? Did he write his own songs? Johnny
Not
Cash?
all of them. He wrote some of them. It was,
Yeah. Willie Nelson, people like that.
Rod Stewart. The way Rod Stewart would sort of write about 3 songs per album.
Right.
Cash was very similar in that sort of way.
Right.
Well, you've got to bring people in like Stephen Stills and David Crosby as songwriters. They wrote some.
Yeah, but I don't think they're coming in the same league as they've done some good stuff, but I don't think that they were prolific, were they? Like Bob Dylan and Brian Wilson.
Okay, you've got Crosby, Stills, and Nash, but God forgive me for saying that. They're not in the same par as Neil Young. So they're not.
No.
Well, I do not like Neil Young whatsoever. I appreciate that he's a very, very good songwriter.
He is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Laura Nyro from Michael.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tom Petty's a good songwriter.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom Petty would probably be in. Where would Tom Petty be? Would he be in the top 10, you think?
Yeah, I'd say, probably the bottom half, yeah.
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 Well, if you're going to say Tom Petty, Tom and Mike Campbell wrote some great songs together.
Doesn't get the acclaim, though, does he?
No.
Not at all.
What about from the last 25 years? Would you find that difficult to even go near?
For songwriters, I wouldn't have a clue.
And even British, over the last 25 years, who would, like this century. So we're talking about this century. Who's been the?
They just started this century.
Arctic Monkeys, possibly.
Who?
Arctic Monkeys.
They're not the 90s.
Alex
no.
Turner.
The last 25 years, he said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say one for Ian. I'll say Chris Martin from Coldplay. He'd have to be up there, wouldn't he, Ian? I know you're a big fan.
Because I don't like Coldplay. He does. If you look at his lyrics, he can write a song. I'll give him that. He can write. Yeah. And I hate to say this, Adele. I don't like what she does. She's a miserable old cow. She doesn't write a good, happy tune, but she can write.
Yeah,
and she's done rather well at it.
No, she can. As someone who's a big Paul Weller fan, I wouldn't put anything that he's done in the last 25 years. He's maybe done 2, maybe 3 decent albums, but
what is his best 3, Rob? Because I was looking at some of his albums.
Ever?
Yeah, Paul Weller.
Solo album.
Solo.
The first three. First 3 easily.
I would even argue that the best one is the first one.
It could be.
There's an argument for it.
An argument, and I'm going to argue and say it's the second best. I don't. Them 3 are so close. I think Wildwood for me would take it. Stanley Road, mate, but the debut's very good as well. But the first 3 are far better than anything else.
I don't like his latest one, 66.
No, it's horrible. It's horrible.
What about Ian
I didn't panic. I just said it's his voice.
Yeah, I watched it. You were right. It's crap.
Yeah, someone left a real nasty comment in it about.
No, ignore him. Some Weller sympathisers. You can't criticise him, but he's crap. What were you going to say, Simon?
What about Ian Brown?
What about him?
What was his best 3 solo albums?
His best albums, his greatest hits.
Yeah.
Get his greatest hits.
I've got it already.
I've got that Unfinished Monkey Business. I've got that Music for Spheres, but I've not got it on vinyl. I'd like that's the one that's got Fear on it. But his solo albums they're not like the greatest, but they're pretty good, but not the greatest.
Here's a question for you, Rob. I think I might have asked this before. You have a choice. Get rid of all your Paul Weller solo albums and keep the Style Council albums, or get rid of the Style Council albums and keep the Paul Weller solo albums.
I'd probably get rid of the Style Council because there are a lot of Paul Weller. How many solo albums? I think he's done 17 or 18. I can find 3 or 4. I think on his new album, I'm struggling to find more than. It's just awful, that new album. It's terrible.
Is it not just bland? Is it not just the same thing?
It's crap.
Rinse, wash, repeat.
He can't. It was what? I can't remember which song.
Crap.
He just flat. He was flat. He missed notes. It was just awful.
It's horrible. Horrible.
You see, whenever, I don't know, but whenever he does a concert of late, do you know what sort of percentage of material he draws from the Jam and the Style Council? And
Yeah.
Does he draw a lot? Obviously, would draw a lot from Stanley Road and Wildwood still.
Yeah,
so there's an awful lot of albums in between the new one and that.
Oh, yeah.
Has he just ignored them or what?
Yeah, well, I mean, I saw him about 3 years ago, so he'll play probably 6 Jam tracks.
That's a very small time in his career too.
And he'll probably play 6 Style Council tracks. So that's probably half of the gig, isn't it? 12 tracks.
Yes.
And then he might play 3 maybe off a new album. And then he'll go to his old favourites like Changing Man and Wildwood and You Do Something to Me.
Yeah.
He's got such a massive catalogue, hasn't he? It's massive, isn't it? But I think you made the point, Richard, a couple of years ago now, where you were saying he could do with taking a break. And also, he needs someone saying to him, it's shit that.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone will say shit to him. But I mean, some of it is he needs to take probably 3 or 4 years and just have a break for me. But he'll be 70 then, and what's he going to do, you know?
I thought of an idea for perhaps a future collab video. Just get your sort of a few feelers out there, just to think about. Could you think of 10 albums which you would want pressed to vinyl, which obviously aren't on vinyl? Is 10 manageable?
I've done a video on that. I've done 2 videos on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
10 albums I'd love in vinyl.
Yeah. We did that last year, didn't we? Kind of.
It could be explored again, couldn't it?
Yeah, it was a thread that was. It was a bit of a thread, weren't it? I know I did a response to that. I might have even put it as a question in the vinyl tag. I think maybe.
But 10 albums is quite a lot, though, isn't it? It would be
a
bit of a challenge to do. I mean, someone could do 5 maybe, but 10 might be a bit challenging.
A lot of records they're just hard to get on vinyl, aren't they? There's ones that they have been reissued, but they're just really expensive. So most of us don't really like spending more than 50 quid to be on an album.
No.
If you go back, say, 30 to 35 years, the opposite question would be true is, oh God, this was my favourite vinyl album. I would love it on CD, but it's never been released on CD. I wish the hell they would release a CD. That's the way it was.
I know.
Even if it's got a first press, maybe a press in the 90s where it's like 300 or quid now, you think, well, if I buy it and they reissue it for like 25 quid in HMV, you'll be kicking yourselves in a way, wouldn't you? Thinking, I've spent all that money. But now it's been released a year later. I could have got it.
Who's that?
Big, was it?
You know that one? Hang on, I'll take the cover out. This is one of my favourite albums. I think it's from 2002. Do you know that album?
Oh, Richard,
Croft.
Oh, I haven't got that.
Well, this is brilliant album. I think this is one that I showed on the video saying I'd like to have this one on vinyl. I think you can pick it up maybe for about 100 quid or something.
When did that come out?
2002, I think.
You see, that's not so bad, but you see albums that came out in the mid-90s and the early 90s. You wouldn't want them because they're on vinyl.
Seen that before, that one.
This is like one of my favourite albums of the last 25 years. I absolutely love this. So,
Are they a band?
The Twang, yeah?
Yeah,
they're like a cross between. There's a little bit of the streets in there, and then a bit baggy. They're just amazing.
I've never heard anything of their material.
Yeah, you'd like them if you'd listen to them a few times.
Yeah, you probably would.
love them. If you see this one in the charity shop, just get it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I will do.
Yeah, you know my recommendations are good.
I do.
Anyway, we've got a friend here, so all right.
Curtis, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
good. He's on the buffet here, so he's going to appear on all my videos now. He's a bit sleepy. I just picked him up then. He's like, "What's going on?" So yeah.
Yeah, there's a dash hound on his thing snoring his head off. I'm surprised
Right.
I can't hear him.
Right, I was daydreaming today when I was driving, and I come
Well,
up
that's a bit dangerous.
and it's something, and I thought, oh, I'll ask you. So it's not music related, but it's just a fun. So I was thinking, what are your 5 favourite kids' TV shows when you were growing up? What were your 5 favourites? So I've got my 5. Do you want me to tell you my 5, or do you want me to let you go?
You tell us your 5, and we'll it might sort of a few ideas of our own.
Grange Hill, Thunderbirds, Banana Splits, Wacky Races, and there was another one, like Scooby Doo, I think.
Do you know you're saying Thunderbirds? Do you know what I watched this afternoon? The Thunderbirds Are Go movie.
Oh, the live one.
The
Jerry Anderson one.
Yeah, the one where the Cliff Ridges and the Shadows are made into puppets.
Right, yeah. That's a coincidence then, isn't it?
Yeah. My 5, I know what my 5 are.
Go on.
The Flashing Blade.
Oh, yeah.
Robinson Crusoe.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Tales of the Riverbank.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one, yeah.
Hong Kong Phooey.
Yeah.
And Dick Dastardly.
Yeah, that's a bit like Wacky Races, isn't it?
Yeah. My favourite character in that was Clunk.
Oh, yeah, Clunk. Yeah.
Ding dong. And if I was to have a bubbling under, Top Cat.
Yeah, oh, yeah, Top Cat. That'd have to be a bubbling under for me as well. What about you, Richard? Come on, you've had a bit of time now.
Very young would be Camberwick Green.
Yeah, that was in my bubbling under.
Listen, I have to say the Wombles. I have to love the Wombles.
You're sponsored by them.
Yes. I would have gone for what do you call them? The Banana Splits as well. Wasn't that really free? You used to get the Three Musketeers and all and that, didn't you?
Yeah, the Arabian Nights size.
Yeah. Size of a buffalo. Yeah, you had that, yeah.
There's another one on a Saturday morning that I love was Jose's Adventures of Tintin.
Oh, I love Tintin. Yeah, you're right. I love Tintin.
And I have to go with Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo.
I loved it until Scrappy came about. And then
yeah.
No one likes Scrappy-Doo.
And believe it or not, I loved Will-O' the Wisp.
Right. I never really watched that.
Kenny Williams.
Yeah, Kenneth Williams, wasn't it, that?
I would go with Wells of Gummidge.
Yeah, I thought about that, yeah.
Inspector Gadget.
Right.
Danger Mouse.
Oh, yeah, Danger Mouse, yeah.
I think I would put Scooby-Doo on the list and Thundercats.
Thundercats, all right.
Yeah.
It's funny with Scooby-Doo, though, isn't it? Because that is real. Absolutely love it, mate.
Transformers was huge as well, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Transformers, that was big, wasn't it?
But there'd be a little difference between your choices and how we're watching. I mean, Ian's on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, weren't they? Robinson Crusoe and all that.
I love that, and I love the music, and I still love that music.
Yeah. What about White Horses? Remember that one?
That was good as well.
Yeah, and the Singing Ringing Tree. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Midge?
Yeah, that's a bubbling under for me. I love that.
Midge.
A little bit like I think the animation was similar to Mr. Ben.
Mr. Ben. Oh, damn. Yes, Mr. Ben.
Yeah, Mr. Ben. I think he's slightly overrated, but I think I like him. Yeah.
I like the way he got dressed by just going like that there. Stand there.
What about the Magic Roundabout?
Well, yeah, that was another one I've thought about as well.
Rainbow.
Well,
Button Moon.
no, they're all yeah.
The Clangers.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
They used to swear in that, didn't they?
yeah, the Clangers. Yeah,
They used to swear.
Captain Pugwash. Yeah,
Diddle-did-it. The Herbs.
yeah, I thought about that. Yeah, the Herbs. There's all those ones, isn't there?
When I went on my Facebook today, I'm on one of these groups where it's got like 70s TV, and someone had put up a picture of Mary Mungo and Midge.
Yeah. I love that, mate. It was really.
I've
gone off topic here, but I always like talking about kids' TV. I don't know why.
Or the Double Deckers.
Who?
The Double Deckers.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I love that as well.
I used to like that one of the girls in it, not the little one, but the
With ponytail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that as well, Nick.
The best thing about Rhubarb and Custard was Richard Bryars, who narrated it.
Yeah, it was brilliant at that.
Do you remember Crystal Tips and Alistair?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I've all the engine. Yeah. Bod. You remember that?
Bod, I didn't.
Yeah.
Narrated by John LeMessurier, of all people.
I know.
Realise that.
And then Arthur Lowe did
do all the Mr. Men, didn't he? Do you remember that? Yeah. There was so much, weren't there, in our childhood when you think about it?
No.
I wonder whether kids are the same now, in 20 years, whether they'll, because the media is so different now.
That program, Why Don't You? With all the ideas to do in the summer holiday.
I know, it's random, isn't it? That was good.
They got so many channels now, but there's nothing worth watching, is there?
No, but because we had to watch certain programs. So a little bit like music, where a TV show you might think, oh, it's not very good, but then you carry on watching it and get into it because there was no other channels to watch. Whereas like with music, you can flip around now because you've got so much choice. Why would you want to listen to a new band when you've not listened to one of your Kate Bush albums for 12 months? So you're going to put that on, aren't you?
But even in the 90s, you would have children's TV played like at 3 o'clock for like an hour, and that would be like your lot. There'd be nothing else. Then it'd go into like the news and the rest of it.
How is it? It's not even on the mainstream telly children's.
No. You'd have BBC One, of course, and ITV, but
Vision On for the deaf kids.
Yes, we don't send back the pictures. And that music. The gallery. And I'm not taking the Mickey. That's how we used to see it as kids, because we did the gallery.
Does anyone own anything which is relatable to what Rob said on vinyl? I know you've got that Walt Disney soundtrack, Ian, haven't you? But have you got anything else which could be of your childhood?
I've got the full Wombles discography, put it that way. That's all I'll say.
Well, you got the single.
I've got 4 albums, 5 albums, 6 albums by them.
Really? They made that many?
Well, there's 4 full albums, 1 soundtrack, and the greatest hits.
Oh, wow, I didn't realise I had so much.
Do you know, Simon, that the Wombles spent more weeks in the single charts in 1974 than any other act?
I didn't know that, no.
That includes Elton John, David Bowie, Slade, all them. The Wombles were number 1.
Blimey.
They were massive.
I thought they were a bit of a one-hit wonder,
No. They actually, believe it or not, played Glastonbury in 2011. and they went down a storm.
Really?
Hey, it was people dressed as the Wombles singing the Wombles hits.
Right.
You know, they had about 3 or 4.
That's so late compared to like when it was around, wasn't it?
Right. But they made a bit of a comeback in the 1990s, I believe. Rob will be able to confirm the Wombles. Didn't they come back a wee bit in the 90s?
Yeah, they did, because I bought my son a Wombles sort of, Teddy thing. So that it was maybe like 99. I think they redid it a little bit. I don't know whether Bernard Cribbins, weren't it, who did the voice? Was it Bernard Cribbins?
Bernard Cribbins, yeah.
He's from Oldham,
Right, I've got 3. My hand. Alfie from my childhood.
Oh, here we go.
Let you be.
Oh, we're not going to get Ken Dodd out again, are we?
Of course we are.
That's a good one.
Green.
That's a good one, that. Is that a first press, that?
Yeah, first pressing. Come to Chigley.
Yeah, I'd like that. I'd like them. They had the railway, didn't they, Chigley?
Yeah, half and half biscuit version. And of course.
Yes.
I knew you'd show that.
And
Yeah.
Got in your collection now.
Yeah, you can't have Camberwick Green and Chigley without having Trumpton.
I've got
Trumpton is about somewhere, and the other thing I've got is read by Johnny Morris, the
Animal
Thomas.
Magic.
Yeah, he read some of the stories of Thomas.
Yeah.
And his voices of the coaches and that.
Yeah.
He was brilliant.
It's interesting, though, most of the shows that we're talking about, there's a few American shows in there, but the majority are BBC programs, aren't they?
Yeah. I loved Animal Magic. I loved the funny stuff, and I loved
Johnny Morris was brilliant, weren't he? Like doing the voices of the animals. I love that.
Yeah. But then he did the more, what's a diddy man?
Yeah.
He comes from Knotty Ash.
Yeah.
And they work in the Jambutty mines.
Yeah, something like that.
I've done a video on it, Michael.
The only one I never liked was Jack and Ori. Never liked Jack and Ori. Couldn't be arsed listening to the story.
No. You just wanted that to end, didn't you? Because someone's going to come on.
It's a bit like Tomorrow's World. You wanted it at the end before Top of the Pops came on.
Yeah. What about News Round? Do you remember that? I used to
watch John Craven's News Round, yeah.
It didn't bother me because it was very, very, very short.
Were you a swap shop or a Tiz was?
Swap shop.
Yeah, I was more of a swap shop.
Although I did go to when Chief Chegwin came to Northampton.
Yeah.
Chris Tarrant did that, didn't he? Tiz was.
Yeah.
Then he did the adult version, OTT.
Right, here's one for you, Rob. Were you a Valerie Singleton or a Leslie Judd?
Yeah. I was a Sarah Green.
I was Leslie Judd.
Valerie Singleton. Yeah. I liked them both, actually.
I like them both as well, but Leslie.
Yeah. And then you had Magpie, which was for the
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny you can remember the presenters, can't you, of Blue Peter quite a way, like Simon Groom and
John Noakes and Peter Purvis.
And
John was the one that was in Flash Gordon.
Peter Duncan.
Peter Duncan.
Yeah.
He became like John Noakes.
Yeah.
He was the Daredevil, and
he was, yeah.
It's all of a pre-internet age, all this, isn't it? But you wouldn't change it for the world, would you?
No,
you wouldn't.
No.
And come Christmas at Blue Peter, and they had the Advent calendar.
Oh, yeah.
I love that because it was just we're getting.
You knew it was
Christmas.
You knew it was nearly Christmas, didn't you?
Know,
They
exactly.
started making it with the coat hangers and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
he introduced us to sticky back plastic.
Oh, yeah.
But they couldn't call it by its real name, could they? Because it was advertising it.
What was that? Was that what was it?
I mean, my dad used to shout at the telly, "Sticky plastic, it's called." I can't remember what it was.
Right.
I mean, they made like Tracy Island out of loo rolls and
Yeah, remember that? Yeah, that was I fancied Anthea Turner. Me, I still fancy her now. But she was on there, weren't she, as well?
And Karen, she was Karen Keating as well.
Yeah, but Anthea Turner,
very young Yvette Fielding. She was 18 years old when she done that.
Yeah, she was young, weren't she? And that, what was she called? Connie Hook. She's a bit later. She's Simon's. There's been a few, haven't there? Remember when they smashed up the Blue Peter Garden and they had to do an apology? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember when they smashed it up?
Was Percy Thrower about at that time? Was it Percy
Thrower was on?
But then that guy, one of them took drugs, didn't he? And he had to come on in a...
I was going to say a few of them were on cocaine, weren't they? Like in the 90s.
Richard Bacon.
Yeah, he had to apologise, didn't he? Taking drugs were wrong. You were funny, weren't it?
And then he went and worked on Radio 5.
Yeah, didn't he do the Big Breakfast for a bit as well, I think?
Yeah, I think he did, didn't he?
Did you used to watch the Big Breakfast? Because
I
they
did.
used to have good music on there, didn't they? On the Big
It was
Breakfast.
a great show, wasn't it? It was a great show. I always used to watch it before I went to school. I used to do my paper round, get back, watch the Big Breakfast, and go to school every day.
Yeah, but there was things they did introduce it to. Bloody Roland Rat.
Was he on the Big Breakfast?
Roland Rat was on BBC Children's TV along with
ITV, weren't he? He might have made a comeback on Big Breakfast.
They were all on drugs, weren't they? The Big Breakfast, a lot, weren't they? Most of them.
There was what?
A lot of them were on drugs, weren't they?
Oh yeah. Well, Paulie Yates was on that, weren't she? With Chris Evans on that? Oh no, Gabby Roslin, weren't he, with Chris Evans, and then Johnny Vaughan and
Johnny Vaughan. That's what I was trying to think of.
Johnny Vaughan was good on that.
Denise Van Houten, she was on it, wasn't she?
Van Houten, that's right. Yeah.
Kelly Brook.
Paulie Yates met Michael Hutchins, wasn't it, on the bed?
Yeah.
Kelly Brook, of course.
Kelly Brook, yeah. Chris, did you used to watch that? Don't Forget Your Toothbrush. Do you used to watch that?
No.
Chris,
that was the one just before TFI Friday. It morphed into that, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a little bit like, because TFI Friday was like when Britpop was really big, weren't it? They used to have a lot of music on that.
Yeah, but with Chris Evans again, wasn't it?
Chris Evans, yeah.
I used to
remember that, The Word.
Yeah, The Word, Terry Christian. Yeah, well, he's from Manchester, isn't he? So
I used to love the Tube because the music variation on the Tube was brilliant.
Yeah.
Everybody was on there. Doesn't matter if you were a synth band or a metal band.
That was on just before you go out on a Friday night, though, didn't it? You used to go out. You used to watch that, then go out. Well, what people saying in the comments, Simon? I can't see it.
Nick says he's in bed watching this and stuffing mince pies in me gob.
Who is?
Already come in. Nick, sorry. Nick.
Ah, right.
So he can't really come in and join in. So, we got The Word is a great 90s show.
Yeah, I like them. I like The Word. Is that Jack, the Vinyl Forge? Is he watching? Hi, Jack. How are you doing?
He's watching, yeah.
Yeah.
You see the way you said you watched the Tube before you went out?
Yeah.
I bet you whenever you came back in, you watched The Hitman and Her. Michaela Strachan and Pete Warren.
A couple of if I came back and that was on, I've not had a good night because I come back too early.
About 3 o'clock in the morning.
Honestly, I could do in Oldham. We had about 12, 15 nightclubs in Oldham. People used to come from all over Greater Manchester to have a night out in Oldham. So many clubs. It was absolutely brilliant in the 80s.
But did the Hitman and Her ever go down?
Yeah, I went to Oldham once. I'm pretty sure it did. Yeah.
That'd be worth going just to see Michaela Strachan. Like,
Yeah. I don't think I hardly ever watched that, if I'm honest. I might have watched it maybe a couple
I'd
of times.
come back drunk and put it on, fall asleep in front of it. Like,
No. But I'd say this, you sound like an old fart, because I'm sure people who were like 20 or 30 years older than me would say the same thing. But I'm glad I was the age I was, like in the 80s. Ian, you probably say the same.
Yeah.
I think it was such a great time, like going out and to clubs and drinking and the TV, everything pre-internet. I know the internet's great, and this is why we're doing what we're doing now, and YouTube and all that. But pre-internet, it was a different world, wasn't it? Entirely.
I think you appreciate things more back then, didn't you?
We didn't, but we do now. But at the time, we didn't.
Yeah, I mean, these days you don't even have to meet people like in dating things. In our day, if we wanted to, we had to go and talk to them.
Yeah. Well, Miles, it were better actually then, if I'm honest. Yeah. Who's that coming in there?
That's Dracula coming out of his coffin by the looks of things.
Yep. That reminds me. Tales of the Crypts on after.
Tales of the Unexpected.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was the sexiest theme ever. Tales of the Unexpected.
All that.
Yes.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, it was good. That. Yeah.
Michael appreciates you being here, Nick.
Thank.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So Michael appreciates you coming here.
Well,
Well, of course, yes.
what did you used to like watching, Nick? You know, you're older than all of us, aren't you?
You cheeky git. I grew up on a diet of Jerry Anderson stuff.
Right. Yeah. The Captain Scarlet and all that.
Yeah, Stingray, Thunderbirds, Captain
It wasn't,
Joe
it wasn't,
Nye.
weren't it? Because you didn't have videos. You just had to like hang around and check the TV when it was on and stay in.
You look at the Radio Times.
Yeah. Thunderbirds weren't on that much.
Well, when I was very young, I was born in Chiswick, London, and then we lived for a while in Wembley.
Right.
And Jerry Anderson stuff was on a hell of a lot in the London area.
Yeah. It was Thames, weren't it, that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have
later on, Space 1999, loved that as well. UFO.
Yeah.
Well, we used to have like Granada, Yorkshire, Tyne Tees, Anglia. We had all.
Anglia. Yeah.
What was yours, Richard? Was it Ulster? What was Ulster? Was it?
It was only Ulster TV. That was
Ulster TV.
But obviously, we would get Thames TV and so forth. London television. So we saw all that. Anglia. Whenever I see the Anglia thing, I always think of the century.
The century. Yeah. It's the quiz of the week. Yeah.
Quiz of the week.
Yeah.
It was Meridian in the south in the 90s.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Southern in our day.
I'm trying to think what.
Every program was presented by Fred Dinage.
That's right.
Oh, do you remember that? How? Do you remember
How?
Yeah. Nick was saying about how.
that? Yeah, how.
Magpie.
Do you remember him? That Jack Hargreaves. Do you remember him?
Jack Hargreaves, yeah. Out of town.
Yeah, he was brilliant, him, weren't he?
Yeah.
Smoking his pipe on telly.
Yeah, it was for him. He was so chilled out, weren't he?
Yeah, didn't the Far Show did a skint on him?
Yeah.
He was always coughing and spluttering, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I remember Carol Vorderman taking over the TV in the early 2000s. She was everywhere.
Yeah.
She's a bit of a loon now, isn't she?
I'm never a fan of her. Never a fan.
She was on everything.
Yeah, I weren't a fan. I weren't a fan at all. I know guys who are like she's proper MILF tackle, but not for me.
Yeah, she's a bit of a loony now, isn't she?
Who's your perfect one, Nick? I'm interested to hear, who would you really go for? Apart from Toya.
But apart from that bird up in Leeds.
Oh, right. I don't know.
Come on, Nick. I want to know what your fantasies are.
I beg your pardon. It's rather personal. I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of television, to be honest. I don't have anything to do with the BBC, so I don't pay for the license.
No.
Whenever the telly's on, it's normally the daughter watching Netflix. I just watch stuff on the internet, like YouTube.
Who do you miss from the vinyl community who don't do any videos anymore? Do you miss anybody?
Oh, crikey. Oh, yeah, you mentioned him the other week. Johnny Seed.
Oh, yeah. Remember Johnny? You loved him, didn't you?
I did. I thought he was brilliant. He was so funny.
Yeah.
But he didn't just do music, did he? He reviewed old-fashioned toys and stuff like that as well, didn't he?
Remember when he cooked them burgers?
Yeah, gravy chips or something. So good.
Yeah, brilliant, wasn't he, Johnny?
Yeah.
I think he did the vinyl tag, not last year, the year before. And I thought, he's coming back, but I don't know whether he's done anything since.
Well, I'm still subscribed, and I've still got the I've never had anything. So
he bought a tin of burgers, didn't he? Them burgers in a tin. And he cooked them. It was horrendous, wasn't it? I might watch that after. Just watch that before you have your tea. It was really good. Do you remember him, Simon, Johnny Seed?
No, I don't. No.
You need to look his channel up. We need to send him a message and get a campaign, go to GoFundMe or something.
Yeah, bring him back.
He's round here somewhere. He's like in the Greater Manchester or Blackpool area around there.
Get in contact with him.
On burgers of tins of burgers. It's got to be back on.
It's really good.
Resurrect him.
Who else? Do you miss anyone, Richard? Is there anyone you miss?
I always liked your girl from America. Simon knows her, Miranda.
Yeah, she's
Yes.
She was normal. She wasn't a full-blown dolly bird or anything like that. And she did one wee video about COVID. And it was the first day of being furloughed, and she was jumping with joy. Second day, she was spinning around the chair, depressed, and all the rest of it. And I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, she's here, isn't she?
Well, there's Michael. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Oh,
What, Michael? Why are you wearing the same top as me?
I have a crush on you.
Well, we know that. If there were a vinyl community channel of the year, who do you think it'd be?
Who are you asking?
Anybody, everybody.
Vinyl community channel.
I know who I'd have, but I'll leave it to everyone else first.
Well, let me ask you something. Would it be a live stream only channel or one that actually produces content?
No, content.
Yeah. Well, there's not that. They're getting fewer in number, Rob.
No, there's some. To me, there's one that stands out for me this year who's really stepped up. He's in the UK.
Paris Hilton?
No, not
No. Well, I mean, I'm going to have to pass on this one because I don't know. That's tough to say.
Everybody has their own style and way of doing things, don't they?
Yeah.
No, but some people are better than others, aren't they? So that's what I'm digging at.
Well, yeah, but
You're always digging.
Everyone has something different to offer on the table, haven't they? There's a different taste.
Yeah, no, but this is so like woke now because no one's going to actually say anybody. So it's like this isn't what this. If this was the 1970s, you just say it.
No, but you always got something in your back pocket, you know.
One at a time, one at a time.
To have like a top 3 or whatever, isn't it?
Who would you have, Richard? Come on, you watch.
I honestly watch very, very little. I watch all of Ross Goodall's. I watch all of Ross Goodall's.
Yeah, Ross is a good one, yeah.
I watch all of his. See, I don't even watch all of John's 6-inch pianists.
No, nobody does. Don't worry about it.
I watch all of James Griffiths.
Yeah, that's not easy, is it? But go on.
And a third one from the UK.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone here is excluded, so can't count this.
I would use Beatle Dave, and I'm sure Rob would as well, wouldn't you, Rob?
Oh, I want to congratulate him for reaching 15,000 subscribers. That's
Do you know
incredible, isn't it?
a lot was Beatley Tone.
Yeah.
He's had a really tough time.
He has. You're right. Yeah.
Ross Goodall used to be on with another young lad, didn't he?
Never watched him.
Around his age, but I can't remember what
channel you're watching, I think.
Oh, you're thinking Rock Boy.
Hey, I don't want to know about these.
Rock Boy 361 or something.
Yeah, there was him, and there was another lad as well.
Yeah.
I think he painted some sort of music mural on his bedroom wall or something, if I remember right.
He does a lot of videos and
I think you've been watching another channel there, nothing to do with vinyl.
Well, if this is a UK channel that has 15,000 subs and makes their own content, and none of us know who it is, then you have scooped us all, Rob.
I'm not talking about Beatles, Dave. I think Chris Final Orchard's had a really good year, hasn't he?
Oh, he's great. He's exploded.
Yeah, he has done really well. He's got well over 2,000 subscribers. He deleted all his videos, but he kept the channel, and I think he's retired now. He's doing certainly doing 2 videos a week. He's got a really good collection, but it's mainly hard rock, and he's got a good punk collection as well.
A lot of singles.
Yeah, he don't really listen to anything after sort of 1990, but he's had a great year, hasn't he, Chris? His presentation is excellent as well.
Stevie Vinyl Cover's done well this year.
Yeah, I think he's flatlined, hasn't he, really?
Give credit where credit's due. I think he's done all.
I think last year was a better year for Stevie, weren't he? That was when he brought out that epic. He did a few epics, didn't he, last year?
Was it last year?
Yeah, it was epic last year, wasn't he, Stevie? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to blow my own trumpet. I've not had a bad year.
Yeah, you did a good year. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It was a very good year.
Yeah. Come on, who else?
It's amazing. It took me so long to get to 1,000.
Yeah.
Get to 2,000, it just went like that.
Yeah, a lot of it's sympathy. Don't get excited about it.
You're so mean.
And I thought it was my hard.
You know, if there was a Ghosty Award for the meanest guy in the VC,
No.
You would be the first. Wax would be runner up.
No, anyone who's uneducated like you doesn't have a clue. Because if you go on my channel, I'm always advertising new channels, brand new. It's like Final Voyages here, Jack. He's had a great year. First video was the vinyl tag. I don't know how many videos he's done, like 40 or 50. Really consistent, putting good stuff out. Really nice guy from Scotland. So yeah, Jack.
Jack. You're the PR agency. You are the VC PR agency.
It's just nice to do. I know people run contests, and maybe I won't do the contest. But if you've got a decent sized channel and there's a new channel, just give them a plug, and put them on your communities. They might get 4 or 5 subs out of it, and when you're starting your channel, 4 or 5 subs it's a big deal.
It's true. No debate. It's a good idea.
So, Rob, Tell me this: have you got many of the questions for next year's final tag?
Next year? So you mean this year? Yeah.
For 2024.
Wait! You're going to do it, Rob? You said you weren't going to do it. I have you
Yes,
on tape.
No, due to public demand, then I've actually got a PO box with full of letters with begging me to do it. So, you know, the only
knew it. Rob. This moment was called in January, and Simon and Ian will stand with me on this one.
Yeah.
We all said that you would change. You would change your mind, reverse course. Months after you said there was no friggin' way you were going to do it. No way.
The only reason I'm doing it is for the good of the vinyl community. Because if I don't do it, there'll be a civil war. Because you'll get about 3 or 4 people doing it. It'll be chaos. So I'm doing it.
I want you to do it, Rob.
Yeah.
I want you to do it.
So
What's that song by Carly Simon?
You're so vain.
No, yeah, that's a good one. Not that one. Don't say. There's another one as well. Why? No, it's not that one either.
Nobody does it better.
Correct. That he knows what he's saying about. But yours was a good answer, Michael. Very good.
Or coming around again in January.
Oh yeah, very good. Yeah, that's not Richard. Yeah, good one.
Oh God. Oh, what
Well, I won't be doing a Beatles tag anyway. You can count me out for that one.
No. Yeah.
So when will the video be up? 1 minute past midnight. On
30 seconds past midnight.
It's probably a 6-month-old video. It's just like
it's already been shot. It's in the can. You're all right. It's ready.
Yeah.
So, Rob, I bet you've been working on the questions all along, haven't you? Like, you got pizza boxes with scribbles on it, working on those questions.
For the first 6 months of the year, the mindset was that I wouldn't do it. But then I thought, right, I've got to make a video to say I'm not doing it. So then I got questions, and then who does it next year? It's difficult. Do you want Dylan Noble Records to do it? Who wouldn't really support it by doing a playlist and watching the videos and encouraging people? He'd just throw it out there.
I think you had vinyl tag fatigue, Rob, didn't you? When you done
maybe. Yeah. I love doing it though. It's great. It's just a nice thing, isn't it? But it's an important thing. It's a big thing in the VC, isn't it?
Yeah, it's important for the newbies. Something to bite teeth into, isn't it? Get involved and
whoever does it is going to get sick.
Oh yeah, but I can take it, can't I? So no one really throws that much stick at me anymore. So it's water off a duck's back, in it. So
we've got our own ideas anyway. What we're going to do.
Say that again.
We've got our own ideas. What we're going to do.
Who has?
Myself, Ian, and others.
Yeah.
Oh, are you doing a vinyl tag as well? All right. Well, no one will be interested in that, so don't waste your time. You've got to be a big channel to do it. So
we'll see.
All I'm going to say on the matter is we're not going to be bloody lemmings.
I'll tell you what.
You can do it. I'm not in a position. I am not in a position to say I'm not doing it anymore. Why don't you have a go? I'm not in a position to do that because nobody's in a position to do that because nobody's in charge of it. You either do it and respond, or somebody else does their own and people respond.
One you could do 2 or 3 of them, couldn't you? You could do your own and others.
The more the merrier. The more the merrier. The more the merrier.
It's happened before, and it spoils the vinyl tag.
What
because does? The vinyl tag is best when one person does it and everyone responds. Not if it's me. Andrew Tales from the Crate did it. If Andrew Tales from the Crate was still doing the vinyl tag, I wouldn't be doing it.
More and more are doing their own, aren't they? Over the last
Yeah, but it'll be like a 70s vinyl tag or a country vinyl tag or a punk
Rob's vinyl tag. You got Mazzy's vinyl tag. You know, Rachel will create her own thing, no doubt.
No.
And Baby one and this, that, and the other.
Mazzy did one about 3 years ago, and I did it as well. But that summer vinyl tag, it was like just past, didn't do that great. I don't think. I didn't see that.
Dylan throws that out, who's got 100,000 subscribers. But I had a look on his channel. He doesn't do a playlist of all the people who did it. Probably about 40 people did that, you know.
Is there? Oh, right.
Besides that Japanese, there's a Japanese tag as well, isn't there? Quite a few people have done that, you know. But if someone comes up with a vinyl tag, I won't do it. I'll let someone else do it.
So that means there's going to be a race for vinyl tags to be released at 1 minute past 12.
I won't release one. I'll let other people do it. But a lot of other people will do one. So then it'll end with about 6, something like that. But I'm not that bothered about doing it.
Do it regardless whether you do it or not, won't they? So,
yeah.
You know.
I don't think anyone will. I don't know. I always think that Dylan Noble Records, because I did one and then he did one, and about 4 people did his, and about 300 did mine. I don't think he liked that. But he don't promote it. He don't promote it. If you're going to do the vinyl tag, watch people's responses, promote them on your channel, and make a playlist. Them are the things you've got to do. Or else you're not doing justice to the vinyl tag. You're just doing it because you just want to grow your own channel.
It's a case of who gets the acclaim, isn't it? Who gets the acclaim?
Well, if you do a good job of it, yeah, people are going to say you've done a good job. But the way the VC is now with loads of live streams, if people think the vinyl tag's crap, you'll hear about it because everyone will be coming on live stream saying, "Oh, them questions suck" and stuff like that. And why has Rob Walker not done it? Why has such a body done it and such a body? It's crap this year. So you get stuff like that. Richard knows. We've been around here for a long time. We're not these Johnny Come Lately channels like you lot.
But Rob, you declared in January that you are not going to do a 2024 vinyl tag. I saw it.
I've done a 2024.
Simon saw it. Ian saw it, and Richard saw it. You declared, and somehow between January and today, because you've been on kind of a hiatus, if you know what I mean, you've been kind of like gone for a while.
What I wanted to do is avoid you when you've come on.
Well, as someone said, there is something in the pipeline. Of us, and we're going to do it in simple terms. We're not going to tell you exactly what we're doing.
Right.
But I have started planning it.
It'll be embarrassing, but if you want to do it, do it.
Oh, it'll be pathetic.
Yeah.
When I do something, I do it properly.
No, but it's got to be. People have got to know who you are.
Yeah. I think it's going to be pathetic.
Get over yourself.
Let's not do it, Ian. It's going to be rubbish.
No, that's the challenge now. If someone give me the challenge,
I'm not being funny.
I'm going to do it.
Ian, you do it then. You do the vinyl tag.
Yeah, I'm not a nobody.
You are really.
Well, it's no different from you, mate.
You are really.
No, I don't. I totally disagree with you.
Right. Okay.
2,000. I've got over 2,000 subs now.
I know you've done really well.
Doesn't matter what you are. Go ahead and do it.
Just do it. Do it then.
Yeah.
Don't get your knickers in the twist.
Pardon?
Don't get your knickers in the twist.
No, I'm honestly. There's so many people, I'm sure I'd love to do the vinyl tag, and I'm not bothered about doing the vinyl tag. I'll make a video and say I'm not doing it, and then
there's going to be like 100 variations of the tag, isn't there?
No, well,
so there will be.
There will, let Richard talk, because he's someone who's been around as long as me. He knows how the vinyl tag works. So how do you think it works, Richard, with when it's at its best?
Truthfully, at its best, one person does it, and that's it.
Yeah.
At its best, it was Tales from the Crate that did it every year.
Yeah.
That was the best. Now, the year of COVID, that changed everything, because then you got a quarantine tag, then you got a summer tag, and you got all these different tags.
Yeah.
Now, there was an issue a couple of years ago, or maybe it's last year, with you doing one, and Stunty did one, and it caused a bit of a...
years ago.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Norman Maslov did one a couple of weeks. I give him his due a couple of weeks after you did yours, but he even said that it's not the real one. But I had a go. I enjoyed it as well. But you will find that whichever one comes up first, Vinyl Rich one alongside, was it you or Tales from the... I think it was alongside you the first time you did it.
He did it. Richie did a vinyl, not vinyl. He did a laundry tag.
About 3 years ago, the first time you did one, Rob, Vinyl Richie did one as well.
No, he didn't.
I know, because I remember Ron Haggerty saying, "There's two vinyl tags. I'm going to go with this one, which was yours, and not Vinyl Richie's."
No, Vinyl Richie didn't do one.
He did. No. You'll check if you go back.
No, it was me and Stunty. So, and then I think
that was.
It was me and Stunty. And Stunty didn't do it, and I think Thingy did it. Dylan, I think he did one, and then last year I don't really think anyone did the vinyl tag. I think we had lots of like the punk vinyl tag and the soul tag and things like that.
Last year,
last year.
We've had a full blown vinyl tag for the past.
I did it last year. Yeah. So last year, 330 people did it, but I'm quite happy. I'll do a video. I'll put a video out at some point and say I'm not due to. I want to give other people a chance. I'm not going to do the vinyl tag. Then what will happen is everybody in the vinyl community will decide amongst themselves what they're going to do. So you might get 5 or 6 people doing a vinyl tag, and they'll all be fighting amongst each other. So I'll just come out. I won't do one. I'll come out and say I'm going to do.
Well, let's be realistic. If you put a video out and I'm not doing the vinyl tag, all you'll get is comments below saying, "Oh, but you must, Rob. Oh, you have to, Rob. I look forward to this every year, Rob. Yes, please do the vinyl tag, Rob. Now change your mind, Rob. Do it vinyl tag, and you'll do it." True?
No.
I was going to do a live stream questionnaire, sort of like similar to the sort of tag, but sort of not got around to doing it,
Yeah. In one respect, it gets more difficult doing the vinyl tag because, you end up repeating yourself. There's only so many questions you can ask about records.
Yeah.
So every year you might have sort of 3 or 4 questions that are more or less the same. And then you're just tweaking it because there's contests all the time. There's threads. It's quite difficult. Someone's going to look at the questions. You get it every year. You'll get a comment saying, "We had 6 of these questions in 4 years ago." You know what I mean? It's but it is a good thing to get different people doing it. I agree with that.
You need the questions where people want to answer them, don't you? You need the right questions.
No, it's not easy to get the questions right. It's not easy. It's not easy. But it's not impossible because I've done it. So if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Just take 10 or 20 questions off Ian's Wheel of Fortune.
That's probably, yeah. But
like show an album with a bicycle on it.
Yeah. Sort of I always try to avoid them. I think I had one question every year that was like a shit question like that. Like show me a rainbow on an album cover, so you can cross that one off, Ian.
I mean, your best Marillion album.
Yeah, the best Marillion album.
Yeah. Don't use that one, Ian. No.
Well, I'm not going too much into it because I don't want to spoil it. I've come up with a real good concept. So.
It's one of them things that right, some people might be like, oh, Rob Walker's desperate to do it. It's all about the adulation. Fair enough. But if someone jumps in and says, I'm doing the vinyl tag, you're going to get hit with, well, who the fuck are you? Why are you doing it? Do you know what I mean? You've got to be ready for that, because there's dozens of
people get the same thing when not, you've been here 20,000 years. Why not someone
exactly? Yeah,
do it?
exactly.
If you don't like it, don't take part and go and grumble in the corner. Don't bother.
I get that, but for the harmony, there's so many different. Honestly,
these old dinosaurs.
There's so many different people in the vinyl community. They're very, very difficult to control.
Oh God!
They're impossible
Oh my
to
God!
control.
Oh my
You
God!
can't, honestly, like there's 5 people here, me and 5 people, all different, really difficult to control. When you do the vinyl tag, you've got to herd everybody into your way of thinking. And that isn't easy to do. You can maybe get 20 or 30 people, but can you get 300? Can you get 340 to do your tag? That's not an easy thing to do.
No, of course not.
It just never bothers me. Numbers never bother me. I'll do something because I want to and have a bit of fun.
Numbers, right? Numbers are more important than anything. When it comes to the vinyl tag, they're important. If you do a vinyl tag and 300 people do it, we'll never hear the end of it. But if 20 people do it, you won't want to talk about it again. So it's all about numbers. It's all about
people think. I never do.
Ian, if you do the vinyl tag and 340 people do it, are you not going to mention that? No, you're not, are you? You're not. No, you're not.
You get mentioned once a week.
Keep mentioning that you've got 2,000 subscribers every week.
We've had this conversation before. You do your way and I'll do my way. And there's room for all of us, Rob. You know that.
Can I just say, I was only actually joking when I said, Rob, have you got your vinyl tag questions? I wish I had them right.
No, I'm glad you said that, because I'm not going to do it now. So
well, I'm not going to sit back and sit there and be quiet in the corner.
No, you're not sitting back and being in the corner. You're just being like everybody else in the VC. That's what it's like.
I don't care what other people think.
And also, Rob, whenever you mentioned Harmony, I can't get, is she or isn't she wearing Harmony hairspray out of her head?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
So Richard, I'll make a video about 3 days before the vinyl tag's going to go up to say I'm not doing it. And then you've got 300 or 400 people all running around thinking, am I going to do the questions?
No, they'll all be saying, Rob, you have to do it. You have to.
Yeah, I know. But when Thingy stopped doing it, he didn't make a video. He just didn't do it, did he?
That's because you actually sent me a message about the second day of January.
I know. Just said there isn't one.
And then you said, should I do one? As in yourself, I said, go for it.
Yeah.
You blame me, lads. I'm the one that said for it.
If Richard had said, oh, don't do it, I would have ended up not doing it. So it's Richard's fault, isn't it, Richard?
It's all my fault.
Yeah.
Didn't Andy used to get help from Mr. Hall of Fame and other people?
Yeah, there's been a few people who have kind of been involved in it. I think James Griffiths was involved one year, Richard.
I think so, but that's going way back at my time.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about having a consortium, a group of people, 3 or 4 people doing the questions. I think that could work, but it's hard to get everyone to agree as to who these people are. That's the problem. Imagine if Michael did it and like one other person would probably do it, wouldn't they?
But let's be honest, whoever does it is going to gain subscribers. And
Definitely, yeah.
So if there's a consortium of 4 people, the person that presents it is the one that's going to get all the subscribers and the other 3 aren't, which could cause a little bit of friction.
Yeah, of course it could, yeah.
You know, and even if you come together as 4 people, whoever's channel it's on will get the subs.
Yeah.
So
I'll
if we
just-
were,
Unless you
I'll
put it on
make
your
a video and just help him bully. It's not-
unless you share it in everybody's channel is involved. It sort of spreads it, you know.
what I'm saying, if we did the vinyl tag now, right, there were 6 of us, and we all gave out 3 questions plus 2 bonus, Simon was the one that would gain from this because we're on vinyl.
Yeah, but you could copy and paste the same video into your channel, couldn't you? You know.
Yeah, that would confuse.
Confusing, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's about time an American did the vinyl tag, personally.
For sure.
Us Brits have had a go at it. Let someone else have a go at it.
Somebody outside of UK and America, Michael,
Yeah.
Say what?
Is
No.
it Japan? Does that count?
you'd be the first one to get it up as well because I don't mean that literally. You'd be the first one because
Yeah, you can put it up.
first one
You want to be shown the Bob Dylan albums and all that
to
stuff.
hit the New Year's Day before the rest of us, so you can have that
We
ready.
can have a Todd Rundgren question.
I'm going to do it on Thanksgiving. I'm going to scoop all of you, put it out on Thanksgiving, just like we Americans do, you know.
Yeah.
I want to show some Tyre albums or something like that, you know, something a bit different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well, who knew harmony could be so rough, huh?
It's always like this when I come on a live stream. You know that.
True, it's true. You bring the ruckus.
You do.
No.
Rob,
Yeah.
have you got Weller's On Sunset album?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Shit, really.
Well, there you go.
That's why I put it. Answer that one.
And on that note, we're in there, shall we?
Yeah, on that bombshell.
Yeah. Yeah,
No, we're not-
it's shit, really. It's
Not going already. We've only
as
just
Barry Norman would say, it's shit, really.
We're 2 hours and a half in almost.
no
So-
get it going for a bit longer.
Oh, another 5 minutes. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they used to use it in Top Gear, wasn't it? And on that bombshell.
Yeah.
I have a question for Nick, actually. Nick,
Oh.
do you listen to any of the recent Gary Newman stuff, or is it just the really old Beggar's Banquet stuff from the early 80s? Do you listen to anything else, like as industrial?
The last of his sort of modern era ones I listened to was Savage. Not the last one, but the one before, with his daughters singing on it.
Right. And that any good?
It was all right, yeah. The bulk of the stuff I listen to is the early sort of Beggar's Banquet type era.
Yeah.
He does deserve an award, though. And I don't mean to be nasty, but he's got the worst hair transplant I've ever seen in my life. It's dreadful. It is shocking. Can he not trim it a little bit?
It looks like he's just got someone's hair and put some super glue on.
He's got a bloody toilet brush on his head.
Oh, harmony.
I've said before that when musicians get to 50, they shouldn't be able to make any more music. That's it. 50, no more.
Ah, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No, it's when they get to 70 odd and they're still
50. Stop. 50. All of them.
How old are the Rolling Stones now? I mean, do they really need
80.
to carry on?
No.
They're 80s, aren't they?
They've done nothing. When were they 50? Undercover of the Night? Done nothing.
No, they were 40 then.
Well, they
50,
looked about
50
50.
around the time of the Do Lounge.
Exactly. So that we can live with anything after that. Not having anything after that, can't we? Really?
I mean, Bob Dylan must be.
When was Bowie? When was Bowie 50?
Bowie was 50 in 1997, around the
Exactly.
time of Earthling.
That's perfect. Anything after there, forget it. Before that, yeah.
So you're discounting Reality and Heathen and the next day and
Yeah, everything. Same with VC channels. Once you're 50, off.
well, we're away.
We're all.
Rob, I'm
I
66.
wouldn't have a channel.
You just turned 60, Rob, weren't you?
Yeah, I wouldn't even have a channel. I started it when I was 54, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I'd have been 54, yeah.
Jesus, time flies.
55.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it started in 2019.
What's the
Yeah,
place?
Rob, you gonna make good on your declaration that you're gonna go visit the United States and go to Seattle? You still gonna do that?
If I got invited, I would, yeah.
Oh, you have to be invited. Okay.
I can't just fucking fly out there and turn up on Mazzy's doorstep. Well, I could do actually, but we're going over to Holland. There's a few of us going over. That's in the works.
To Holland. Okay. For
Den Bosch in
Yeah.
April. There are a few of us going. Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, looking forward to that.
good.
Yeah,
You've never been there before for Den Bosch.
yeah. I more or less lived there for 2 years, so
Oh, so you have been there. Okay. Okay.
I've been there. Yeah.
Personally, I've seen lots of videos of it. I don't really fancy it.
Yeah. No, well, it's records, Ian.
Well, I do like records. You know what I like records? It's just that they can be big, they can be too big.
Ian, you can stand outside and stream it all.
That doesn't appeal to me.
No. If you're a record collector and into music, I mean, that fair, if you've seen it, it's like, it is a little bit daunting. Even when you go to Leeds, it can be a little bit daunting, but
No,
imagine...
I like Leeds. I like Leeds. That's a nice, cosy. And I don't see the point of going to 50,000 people in a huddle.
It's a long way away.
There won't
So
be
one way to go look for records. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I mean, if that's what you want to do and it's an experience, brilliant.
Yeah.
But it's just not for yours truly.
Yeah. Thanks for giving me your permission. I'll go.
No
guys,
grading there, right, Rob?
We're going to fire on here, so it's nice.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you two tomorrow. All the best. Now.
See you there, Richard.
Oh yeah, yeah. Good night.
See you, mate.
No grading at Den Bosch. That's weird.
Yeah.
Got to admit. I mean, how can you have so many sellers there and there's no grading? What do they do? They just talk it? They talk the grade? Well, I played it and it didn't have any service noise.
Yeah. They don't tend to grade. Some places they will grade in the UK, but not everywhere, do they, Simon?
No.
Not everywhere. You just have a look and you grade it.
Most of it's self-grading, isn't it?
Yeah, you look at it yourself, yeah. Yeah.
When you say to them, yeah, are you going to knock anything off of that mark there?
Yeah.
Well, when I was at Leeds at the first time, I got £5 knocked off because someone had put some biro on the back of the album.
Yeah. I know you're big on that, aren't you, Michael? Grading, quite a big thing for you.
Well, I mean, I live in a country where it's pretty much the custom, right? I mean, and I thought, I mean, people are so into Discogs. Discogs has got grading, so I'm guessing that the reason why it's not graded at Den Bosch is so there's room for haggling, right? It's got to be it.
Yeah.
It's near mint. Okay, well, what are you asking for it?
Yeah.
And then, so it's all for negotiation.
If
I
you go,
love haggling.
it's funny, isn't it? How much would you take to Den Bosch if you're going looking there? You know what I mean? What's your budget going to be?
Yeah.
Probably. How many? Are you going to go for quality over quantity? I don't know. Do you go for quality over quantity, Simon? Recently, you've got quite a bit of quality, haven't you?
I seem to go in sort of like patches where I might go for quality.
Yeah.
It kind of like, I don't know. It depends month by month,
Yeah.
I think going for quality is probably better. Like if you're going to a record fair, get something you really want and spend that extra bit of money because it makes the trip worthwhile then,
Yeah, you don't want to be buying records you can just buy around the corner. You're going to be looking at a little bit.
Yeah. So maybe spend that 50 quid on that record you might not necessarily have brought.
There's going to be like 3 or 4 of us going, so you're going to have a bit of a lads outing as well, aren't you? With it's a social gathering as well. It should be good fun.
Yeah.
Other channels are going, or just you and your mates?
No, well, I've not spoken to, but David Atkinson. You know David.
Yeah.
So David's someone who's interested in going. He's going to drive. Gav, you know Gav Spins, the guy in the Midlands. It's called Gav Norman. He's got a new channel. He started it on the Vinyl Tag. Mm-hmm. He's contacted me on Instagram. So him and David had a meet-up this week, and they heard me mention about going over on my video that I did about the London trip. Yeah. Harris Pilton has said he wants to go.
Good.
But he'll probably make his own way because he's on the south coast. So he's not going to come up to the Midlands to come over with us. So he'll probably... Right. He was talking to a couple of lads from London, so they might head over as well. So it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy enough to the south to go on the Eurotunnel now because there are.
He may do. Yeah. It was, you know, Harris Pilton, don't you, Michael?
I do. It's a great guy. You might run into Michael. You might run into Michael 45 at Den Bosch.
I might do. Yeah.
Of course, you'll have to apologize to him for calling him a bottom feeder, but you'll work that out.
I don't know if I called him that. I've called him a lot. I've called him a lot worse than that. Don't worry about that.
You might even bump into Stunty.
I'm sure he'd gently shake me by the throat.
Yeah.
No, he's a gentleman. He's a gentleman. He'll believe me.
Yeah. How much is a passport now?
77 quid, I think.
I'd say about 75 quid.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you allowed a passport?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Of course I am, you cheeky fucker.
I do. I've now got a blue one now. I've got one of the new blue ones.
Right. Okay. I've not. I need to get one. I've got my old one here. Look.
Oh, nice.
There's my old one. Look.
Yeah.
Look at my picture. Do you want to see my picture? Look.
Sure. Let's see your picture. Look at that. You look like poetry on plastic.
I do actually. Yeah.
There we go. Proper blue one. I mean, my very first passport was blue, so I've gone full circle.
Michael's
a small passport.
Michael, you're on form tonight, aren't you? You've been waiting for me all these years.
Well, no, it's been all these months. Yeah.
Well, like.
Well, you were estranged. You were like Julian Assange. Hold up in the embassy.
Yeah.
When you do renew it, Rob, you'll see there's a lot that it's a lot different. You got your photo appears 3 times. You got it on the front page.
Let's see. Really, 3 times your photos in a passport? Wow.
When you're younger, you don't realise how good looking you are, do you? I never realised how good looking I was.
How long is the passport duration?
There's one there at the bottom as well, a little one.
Yeah.
You have to, because I wear glasses, I have to take them off. So I went to one of these photo places. They charge a little bit more than the booths, but what I'm doing in the bloody booths. And when they do the thing, they give you this little code. So when you do your passport online, you put this code in, and your photos are automatically loaded up. It's about 4 clicks because you've got. For you, it'll be the same. 4 clicks, and that's it. Your passport's done. And I got mine back within 3 weeks.
I think you should bring Curtis with you, Rob, when you go away.
Oh God, international travel with animals, forget it.
Yeah.
Every country's got different rules.
Yeah.
I'd be interested, but it'd perhaps be the first and only time I go. It does look a bit daunting.
Yeah.
All them dealers.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, you know. There's so much, you know. It's a short period of time, a lot of pressure, you know.
Yeah.
You should just come to Japan, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Den Bosch everywhere here. It's Den Bosch 365 days a year.
I really love Japan. I really would.
Japan is on my bucket list. It's at number 3 on my bucket list. Reasons I want to go to Japan, not just for records.
Oh, aye.
No.
It's for the culture.
But the culture, the food.
You're going over for the Obies, and that's it. all about the Obies.
You're going for the oldies, not the Obies.
I want to ride on a bullet train. I've always wanted to ride on a bullet train.
Yeah.
I went on one of those French TGVs.
Yeah, I've been on one of them. They're fantastic.
Yeah, it stunk of piss.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Sorry to hear that.
To Leon on a TVG. Fantastic. I was on one of them double-decker ones as well. That was...
Yeah, I've been on them.
Yeah. You forget. I mean, it takes, 3 hours? But where you're travelling from in France... I mean, I've done France on a coach, and it takes 18 hours to get from Calais to the south of France.
Yeah, I've done that.
Leon, yeah, and Lyon's near enough, right in the south. 3 hours on the train.
Yeah.
So, how much is a flight over to Holland then?
You get a return for under 100.
That's all right.
When I used to go, I used to get 40 quid return to Schiphol from Manchester. It used to cost me more to get to the airport, you know, in a taxi.
Schiphol's a crazy airport to land at, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go by the flaps, then you see people eating their breakfast.
Yeah.
So what do you do then? Do you go on a train afterwards, or
yeah?
what?
So Den Bosch is about an hour on the train from Amsterdam. So most places are an hour from Amsterdam, really, when you get in the Netherlands. So
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised that now these days you could buy a through ticket from Pancras to Den Bosch.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So they do. There is a service now that runs to Amsterdam, so you'd get Eurostar to Amsterdam, and then out on the local services.
Yeah, it's just on the main. It's on the main drag. It's on the way. It's just before you get to Eindhoven. Eindhoven's not far. Utrecht's not far either. So it's a really nice city as well. Den Bosch. I think it's the 5th or 6th largest. It's really beautiful. Really nice.
Anyway, fellas, I've got to call it a day now.
All right.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. What's the crumpet like over there?
Very nice.
Absolutely gorgeous.
They're lovely. They're lovely people, Nick.
Yeah, I'm only asking for a friend, like, you know.
Yeah, of course.
I'll tell your friend that they're nice.
They're all 6 foot, Nick, over there. Gorgeous.
Yeah. All right, and I'll think about that.
Yeah.
Cheerio. Good night.
Cheerio.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Ah.